What's up, everybody? Seth, Hunter, Sherb, and Drew here at Misfit Athletics HQ, bringing you possibly the biggest announcement in the history of Misfit Athletics as a website and a company. Wow. Yep.
Whoa.
We've been working on quite a few things over the past, well, it's been like a year now, really, all this in the works. And it kind of coincides really well with the change in the sport that everyone's been dealing with and the direction athletes have been going, whether pursuing it more aggressively or backing it off or just trying to find what their place is now in the community. And so we've been working very, very hard trying to find something that's going to work for everybody. So we have a bunch of things to talk about. We're going to try to keep things concise for you guys. But the first thing that we need to bring up is something that we are launching beginning of May called Misfit WOD. What is Misfit WOD? Misfit WOD, for me, why I love this so much is this really brings me back to my roots of CrossFit. So when I first started getting into functional fitness and all in this entire space, my experience was the nightly wait till 9 p.m.com announcement. What is my day going to look like tomorrow? What is it going to bring me? Am I going to have to lift heavy? Am I going to have to suffer for a long time? Am I going to have to experience and learn new skills and deal with things that are really way out of my comfort zone? I wouldn't know until that came up at 9 p.m. And I think everyone has a similar experience.
Please don't be 5K run.
Yeah.
Please don't be 5K run.
And you'd skip it half the time or you'd do it or whatever. But the point was your day was centered around what that one piece was. And it kind of made you excited about the next day's training instead of everybody nowadays thinking that they have to do all this work and they don't really get excited for any one piece or put their focus where it needs to be. So what we've done is we're going to launch Misfit WOD. And Misfit WOD will be one piece highlighted daily. This will be front and center, the new blog, Misfit WOD. We'll have a Hatchet version of it with you, all this for free. It'll explain in detail what the WOD is, how to approach it, what to think about. Think about the movements in different ways to approach it, maybe that bring you a little outside your comfort zone, whatever. It's going to be one piece that's highlighted that comes from the competitors program. So the competitors program is what everyone's been following for a long time. We've had that, and we have the Hatchet version, which is the scaled back. Misfit WOD will be one piece that comes from both, that will be included in both those programs, that will be the focus of training for the day. Now, why would we do something like this? We need to make sure that people have options to continue to be a part of what we're doing. With the sport changing and people being worried about not being able to keep up with the new standards, the sanctioned events, all the online qualifiers, whether they feel the open's important or not, none of that matters if you can't really be a part of something that's going to pick you up and help carry you throughout the year. And that's what we try to do for all our athletes. Misfit WOD will allow for each and every person to take part in at least one piece per day that everyone's going to do. Whether you're a one and done type of athlete like me, or you're a games level athlete like to the Travis Williams and China Cho's of the world, they will all be doing the same piece, can compare their version of it to each other. And that's going to be what Misfit WOD's all about. Being able to compare that, bring the community together. Stuff will be highlighted on social media. You get to compare yourself daily to the games athletes and, like I said, the one and done athlete. And I just think that this is really going to be the centerpiece for everything that we've delivered over the past 6 seasons now that we've been doing this full time. This centerpiece workout is going to allow us to kind of build around it and give you guys something to focus on. Of course, you can do more, and we offer a lot more, as we're going to get into, and as you already know. But to me, this is going to be the most inclusive thing that we offer for everyone to get a piece of what we do on a daily basis. Misfit WOD, it's coming at you. It'll be available for free with a scaled version and descriptions, all for free. That'll be front and center on the blog. Now that kind of leaves the question, where does the rest of the programming go? And with that, I'll let you kind of take it away.
I have to just put an exclamation point on the Misfit WOD because for me personally, knowing that I can do a version of the same thing that the rest of the Misfits are doing, that's like invigorating for my fitness. Yep. Just that concept in itself is what created the crazy CrossFit community and then pushed us to create this crazy Misfit community. So it's really exciting for me to be able to go there and look at, and gonna have to scale Hatchet too most of the time. But
me too.
Just the overall idea of being like, oh yeah, I did that too, the stimulus of this and this, like that's really exciting for me. So with the tier changes, it's kind of funny. This is exactly the 3-year anniversary of when we decided to make this change to this style of website.
Yep.
Going from just blog, read it, good luck kind of a thing, to how do we bridge that gap between just reading words on a website and remote coaching? And we completely understand that remote coaching, it could be a financial decision, not doing remote coaching. It could be a personality thing. You might be kind of a lone wolf kind of person. And all of those factors kind of come into the fact that we're like, okay, how do we provide more information, more structure, more tips and tricks and all of this different stuff? How do we do that? And we came up with the tiers for the website. So the blog now in its entirety will live on the plus tier. So that first tier, $9.99, the regular blog, and then what's really exciting is Hatchet is moving from pro up to plus. So we're saying if you're sort of drawing that line in the sand and saying, I'm in for this. Maybe I'm more along the lines of Hatchet because I do have that full-time job, or maybe I'm still chasing the big stuff and I'm going after the regular blog. The entire blog, regular and Hatchet, will live there. Moving on to the pro tier, what's really important to note about the pro tier is that we're trying again to take that next step forward. How do we provide more for someone still at an affordable price? And the big thing here is masters. The masters programming still lives on pro. The weakness templates still live on pro. The weakness templates, if used properly, create that concept of like, okay, I don't have a remote coach, but I can slide these pieces in. And I know that the same coaches that do the remote coaching wrote these. So I know that I can go in and make a change. And that's really important. And we have weakness templates in all categories. We are revamping all of them. There's going to be videos in there making sure that you're moving properly. We're really kind of going all in on the weakness template thing to be that like, okay, the blog works well for me, but I need to get better at this right now. I need to get better on the assault bike. I need to get better at muscle ups. My front squat's just not where it needs to be. That's what those weakness templates are for. And then another thing that's really exciting, Sherb's going to talk a little bit more later about the competition tracks, but we're going to offer 50% off the competition tracks to the pro subscribers.
All the programs, all the competition programs.
All of them. So you're in
sweet.
there and you know that you're going to compete at X time in the year. And again, that's what the competition tracks are all about. We don't know when an athlete's trying to peak anymore. We're not really sure. Are they trying to go for the open, which is how the blog is set up? Are they trying to go for sanctionals, which is the competition prep? There's a bunch of different times when someone can peak. So it's really important for an athlete to be able to jump off of that and get there. And that is a pretty substantial discount. And it, kind of makes sense for you to be there within the masters, within the weakness templates, and then to be able to jump off and not have to spend a bunch of money on top of what you're already doing. That was really important to us. The pro tier is also getting a bump in the STA gear. It's really important for us that you guys are, rocking the Misfit shirts and all that good stuff. So it's going to be 15% off within the pro tier. Last but definitely not least is the complete tier. This is essentially as close as you can get to remote coaching without having actual remote coaching. And the kind of star of the show here is the week in advance programming. People for the longest time wanted to sign up for remote coaching just to receive their programming in advance, and we're not that mean. So you can receive...
I wanted to be.
You can receive your programming a full week in advance and be in a Facebook group that is moderated by one of us to be able to say, hey, what about this? I personally think that the weakness templates and the week in advance are a match made in heaven, because the way that my mind works, I need to print off both of those sheets and have them side by side and figure out what actually makes sense. Where does this go? So if I don't know what's coming tomorrow and I just did this, you know what I mean? It could
do some interference.
Exactly.
There, yeah.
So I'm trying to figure all that out, and that's a huge challenge. So complete tier, you're in those Facebook groups, you get the week in advance, and what we're going to do to try to change consults up a little bit, because with different time zones and people following Misfit all over the world, it's kind of challenging to set up a time where we can talk at the exact same time that they can talk without getting up at 2 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to talk to people. So what we're going to do now are full Facebook group cycle consults. So Hatchet, regular blog, Masters, we're going to be able to go in there, and a coach will be able to have that kind of live Q&A that has the same feel. And if you're not able to be there for the live Q&A, we're going to continue to go through the questions for a few days after. So if you're not able to get there and you're like, wait, you said this at whatever, 8 minutes and 58 seconds, I don't understand, can you explain? We'll be in there to answer those questions. And we think that that's going to be an easier way for us to connect with a smaller group without trying to find times that fit into everybody's schedules. So we're hoping that, is well received, because I really think that that's the easiest way to answer those questions. You'll also receive 50% off those competition tracks. So same concept as the Pro tier, and you'll receive 20% off STA gear, which I'm actually looking at this. I'm doing quick math while I'm talking, and some of you crazies would pay for your membership both in Pro and Complete with those percentage discounts
for sure,
based on if you didn't use a discount at all. Last but not least, you will still receive a free camp if you stay on Complete for 12 months. You do that full year, we want to be able to get you. It's probably going to be here at HQ. Most of our camps moving forward are going to be here at HQ. We want to get you here and be able to work with you in person. Make sure that all that stuff that we're saying and we're presenting in videos is actually happening in real life. So 12 months of Complete, you get a free camp. Now, we have all of these changes. We have the Misfit WOD. We're trying to have this like all-inclusive community. We have Hatchet moving up. We have that kind of that full program for everybody, that sort of first step into us helping you a little bit more than just following Misfit WOD with the tiers. But we needed to create a better mobile experience because everybody goes to this thing when they're trying to figure stuff out. You're on the run. I mean, we know how crazy the life is for athletes. We have the athletes in here that are coaching at this gym, coaching at that gym, doing this for Sharpen the Axe and Misfit, and trying to get their stuff done. And if they have to go find their laptop, and we know how awesome Austin's laptop is, sometimes it starts
laptop, keyboard on top of it, display on top of his
Right.
display.
He just carries around a desktop,
So-
actually. Just a tower.
Sure.
You kind of already started in on it, but we realized that most of our users use their phone to access our programming, and we actually had one of our people in our community reach out and go, "Hey, I love your programming. I really love what you guys are putting out there, but I had a little bit of trouble getting from point A to point B where I'm trying to, see my programming, get that after the work," like Drew said. So he reached out to us and said, "We'd be interested in us developing an app for you." And we were like, "Yes, we would 100% make the experience as easy as possible for the anybody looking to do our programming." So for the last year or so, this has been kind of in the works. The biggest thing that I think is exciting about this is it's going to be free for everybody. Whether you're on Android, you're on Apple, it's free for everybody. You go to the App Store, you download it.
Even the people with the green text messages?
Oh, those people.
All right.
People.
Those people are the worst.
Our developer's one of those people.
Unbelievable. Don't listen to that part of it.
Apps canceled.
Yeah, apps canceled. Just drive her out. But we want to make it easy for both iOS and Android users. You're going to be able to log into that app. You're going to be able to see the workout of the day. It's going to have the programming right there. It's going to be a nice, beautiful looking slider. We can slide through the piece by piece, kind of see the description, see the work. All the videos that are going to be on the website will also be on the app, which is really cool. So you don't have to go to a separate place. If it's like, look at this video, and it's like, all right, hold on, switch to Safari and go back. It's all right there. It makes it really cool. Other than just seeing the workouts, what's cool down the road is you're going to have this ability to potentially track your workouts, and there's going to be a custom leaderboard down the road where you can kind of see where you stack up against other misfits that are in your category, whether that's masters or whatever. So that's kind of a cool feature.
The commenting is going to be much improved too,
And
so
the
you can
commenting.
actually go through, and it gets kind of messy on the website now. Like the replies and everything will be much more streamlined.
And I've
in the app.
actually had this experience too, where you like a comment, and then you go to your Facebook later on, you have 400 messages, notifications. You're like, oh, it's just people liking my or commenting back. And
Yeah.
it's like we're gonna have this all in one spot. One thing that was really important to us is that that old school blog feel where you can go back and you can look at one spot for all the information or all the comments on one spot, and you're not going Facebook, website, somewhere else, text message. It's all in one spot. So I couldn't be more excited about this. I think that the fact that you can have everything in the blog right in your hand without doing any extra work other than pushing that button and having it right there is
I hope
super
people
cool.
put the app on their home screen and they get that habit like they have with Instagram, where
mine's
they
right in the bottom.
You open your phone, you go to Instagram, but instead you don't have to go to Instagram. Instagram sucks. You just open your phone and you go to Misfit Athletics over and over again and check the
Think
comments.
about the
check
health
scores.
ramifications. I'm
Yeah.
either going to stare at this screen like this, or I'm going to go get fit as hell. I mean,
There you go.
those are your choices. Take
Yeah.
that, Instagram.
There
I
you
think
go.
having the app and then the Misfit WOD kind of combined, and then eventually that leaderboarding capability, that's like the ultimate tie-in of the community, like getting everybody together in that.
It's what everyone wants.
Yeah.
They've only been telling us for 6 years. Now we're
We
delivering.
finally
Got it.
listened.
Got it.
Finally
No,
listened.
we're a little slower than most.
Put,
We'll
put
get it
your,
done.
put your requests in 6 years ahead of time.
That's
and we'll
right.
get to them.
So we talked about with the website, with the tier changes, again, to repeat myself for the 100th time, bridging that gap between here's some words written on a screen and all the way out to remote coaching. And Hunter is going to tell us what we've changed about remote coaching, which is really exciting.
So the remote coaching is still kind of what those of you who have experienced it will still consist of: access to one of us, as established by you and your coach, kind of that relationship, however often that is. And we still definitely believe it's the best way to maximize the program. You still can get a ton out of those tiers, the complete tier with the Facebook group, but if you are looking to maximize the program, kind of get the nuts and bolts, the hows, the whys, remote coaching is going to be the way to do that. One of the ways we're making that more accessible than ever is through the contracts. So you'll still be able to select a duration of kind of contract with a remote coach, but you'll be able to pay for that monthly instead of shelling out a bunch of cash for a 6 or a 12-month subscription, which a lot of people have been asking for. So you can
By
still,
a lot, he means a lot.
Everybody.
Almost everyone.
Yeah.
Literally almost
Hundreds
everyone.
of people
Yeah.
want to know why they
It's
can't pay monthly
a ton
for
of
remote coaching.
a lot of money to shell out up front. Even when you break it down month to month, that's still a chunk coming out of your bank account. So we're gonna do away with that. It'll be a contract, but paid for on a monthly basis. Going into the competition track programs. You guys have seen that we released those a couple weeks ago, individual, team, and the age group online qualifier. Once the age group online qualifier becomes kind of out of season, we'll substitute in a Hatchet and Masters competition track program. So we'll still have the individual and teams prepping you guys for any competition, sanctioned event, whatever you're getting after. But we're also going to include a Hatchet and Masters version of those competition prep programs for those of you looking to maybe compete in the RX or intermediate divisions. It's like we said, with the changes to our sport, we had to grow, and this is the best way we can do that. So we want to prep every level of Misfit to succeed in those competitions, because how many athletes do we have at Wadapalooza and the various
And that's where all those comps are
adaptive-
headed.
yeah.
They're all headed to
Yeah.
the multi-division
festival, yeah.
and whatnot.
And
So-
let's be real, like we do a lot of highlighting our games level athletes, but there's a few of them, like the bread and butter, like the people that we are really doing this work for is the many that are in that
Right.
RX and
Yep.
intermediate.
That
A lot of them
local
are even
throwdown.
in scale.
Yeah.
They're local throwdown. Like,
Yep.
yeah, we're gonna help the elites as well, and that's maybe where we got started. But like, the majority are not elite, so
Yep.
we want to help everyone maximize what they can do year round until they don't want to do it anymore.
and the elite obviously didn't start elite.
No, of course,
Yeah.
they became elites.
We're creating not only diversity within what we're offering, but stepping stones to get there. And if you take
Right.
those steps, it's a lot easier than banging your head against the wall and hoping
And
that if you come up
we
for air every once in
talked a
while.
bunch about how, okay, so regionals is no longer a thing, but you still have now more than ever a better opportunity to compete on the same floor with those high level athletes. Like, you couldn't, unless you were scrambling for the top heat at regionals, you weren't competing with those high level athletes. But now with these sanctioned events and the ability to compete alongside them, you can do that, and we'll have prep programs that'll enable you to get there. Last but not least, camps. Talk a little bit about that. Drew kind of mentioned it. We're going to revamp the way that we do camps. So rather than just kind of a two-day coaches teaching you, we go into a movement, teach a movement, break out, do a workout, get some feedback with the athletes. We're trying to make this a much more of like an experience. So talking through, we'll still obviously have the coaching and the athletes, but we want you guys to enjoy the experience. We're going to get outside the gym more, engage in like social events and stuff like that. And then have opportunities for you guys to be more closely interact with the athletes, whether that means doing a workout right alongside them instead of kind of seeing them throw down at lunch or in their own separate heats. We want you guys mixed up with the athletes as much as possible. You can hear the conversations that the coaches have with athletes on how to approach it. So when Seth tells Travis to not smash his head into the wall the first 2 minutes of a 20-minute AMRAP, and then he does it anyway, you can hear what that conversation sounds like, and then adjust your plan accordingly. Again, and then we're trying to add like that social environment with Maine, especially in the summer. Awesome time to be outside, whether that's like at a lake, just outside in a field. We've got a lot of different opportunities to get out there and just do something different, get outside the gym, hopefully an experience that you guys have never had before.
That
well put.
That whole experience thing is, a lot of it's about what does it really take to get where these people are. And that's what a lot of people want to know. A lot of people also want to come up to Maine and have fun and throw down. And those to me are kind of the two big reasons why you would show up at a camp. I want to know what that guy's doing. I want to know if I can beat him in this workout, whatever. Or they look like they have quite a bit of fun up there.
Yeah.
Let's go up there. Let's have some fun. So if we can provide both of those things, I think that's a good change.
I do too.
Get some good food while you're here too.
Yeah.
Added benefit.
So this announcement is not something that's coming 6 months from now. This is coming. This is coming like now. So May 6th. Yeah, it's already here.
It's already here.
May 6th is day 1 of test week for cycle 1. These changes should, and 99% will be in effect the day prior, leading into the first day of cycle 1. So this will give you a little bit of time to think about what that path is that you really want to take with us, what that level of commitment is that you want to make to yourself and to your training, and what kind of help you need to accomplish the goals you've set for yourself. We've laid out a number of different ways that you can make what we offer work for you and help you get to where you want to be. So we hope that this is the best structure that we have ever provided for you guys. I'm really, really excited about a number of these details and how we've packaged things together and how streamlined we're trying to make the whole experience for you guys so that you can get in the gym, do what it is you need to do, and then focus on living the rest of your life as well. This is a big part of it, but you have a lot going on outside of it either. We want to be a part of that little window when you're trying to get the most out of yourself during the day. And we think we have come up with the plan for you, no matter what it is you want to do.
I agree.
So I'm really excited about this. I can't wait to see it in action. And any final thoughts?
No,
Exciting
sir.
times.
Well, it's coming. May 6th is day 1, test week, cycle 1 for the new style season with the October Open. So we will see you guys before then, but also then with a revamped website and some new services for you all. And I hope you guys are getting what you need out of it. So we'll see you later.
Thanks for watching.